When society collapses, whether through disaster, infrastructure breakdown, or cascading failures, the first images we witness are always the same. A city that once moved with precision begins to fracture. Traffic locks into paralysis. Sirens echo through concrete corridors. People run, but no one knows where they're going. Shops that were full yesterday sit stripped bare today. It is a moment when logic evaporates and instinct takes control. Human beings are intelligent, but in crisis, we collapse into predictable patterns, and that predictability is deadly. In every simulation of societal failure, the same pattern repeats. People flee in the same direction, toward highways that cannot possibly carry them all. They storm obvious resource hubs, supermarkets, gas stations, pharmacies, draining them within hours. They cluster together, not because it is safe, but because the brain tells them the crowd must know something they don't. But the truth is harsher. The crowd rarely knows where safety is. It only knows where panic points. Predictability creates bottlenecks. Bottlenecks create scarcity. Scarcity creates conflict. In past disasters, we've seen supply chains break not because resources vanished instantly, but because the demand was concentrated into a tiny number of locations, and when millions fight for thousands of supplies, collapse becomes inevitable. This is the first rule of crisis psychology. A predictable reaction is a vulnerable reaction. But in the shadow of this chaos, something else forms: quiet pockets of emptiness. Silent blocks with no traffic. Industrial structures ignored by crowds. Buildings that seem useless at a glance, but hide extraordinary value when society's traditional systems fail. These areas are what we call strategic voids, places that are safe not because they are fortified, but because they are forgotten. The vacuum protocol is a survival philosophy built upon psychological asymmetry. It does not rely on strength, weapons, or confrontation. It relies on knowledge and on stepping where the crowd refuses to look. To understand it, we must first understand why the crowd leaves these places untouched. In moments of sudden crisis, the human brain defaults to 4 primal instincts. 1. Escape the threat as quickly as possible. People run often without direction, strategy, or endpoint. 2. Seek visible resources, not the best resources. Not the best resources, the obvious ones: food stores, gas stations, pharmacies. 3. Follow the crowd, a survival reflex from ancient times. If enough people move, the brain assumes danger is behind and safety is ahead. For return to familiarity: homes, workplaces, public institutions. Even when these places provide no advantage, these instincts create blind zones, entire categories of buildings that almost no one thinks about. Industrial sites with incredible infrastructure, scientific buildings with redundant power, archival vaults with more safety engineering than most banks. People ignore them not because they lack value, but because they lack psychological accessibility. They don't fit the brain's immediate image of safety. A strategic void has 5 characteristics. It is structurally strong. It is rarely visited by crowds. It contains resources that are indirect or hidden. It offers concealment or low visibility. It goes unnoticed during panic-driven migration. This unique combination turns ordinary urban structures into high-value safe zones if someone recognizes them in time. The vacuum protocol identifies 5 types of safe zones, each one representing a different kind of overlooked urban strength. Not bunkers, not military facilities, nothing glamorous, just the places no one sees. Self-storage buildings rise quietly over industrial blocks. To the crowd, they are meaningless. Long corridors, metal doors, dusty hallways. Yet structurally, they are among the most robust non-military buildings in any city. They offer multiple advantages: vertical height for surveillance, reinforced floors and walls, single entry points that are easy to monitor, hundreds of small compartments that create natural mazes. They are rarely looted, rarely visited, and almost never used as shelters in crisis simulations. The average person sees no immediate reward in a storage building. No food, no medicine, no gasoline. But what they don't see is what makes it powerful: its emptiness, its silence, its invisibility. Inside these buildings, stainless steel tanks rise like silent giants. Pipes feed filtration systems, sacks of grain line the walls. And yet, almost no one considers these places important. They hold hundreds of kilograms of grains, nutrition disguised as industry-powerful water filtration systems, alcohol production capability, useful for sanitation and preservation. Breweries are small factories that the crowd ignores simply because they don't resemble grocery stores. During panic, people run toward symbols of survival. A brewery holds none of those symbols and thus becomes an island of stability inside the storm. Science buildings sit at the heart of universities, tall, complex, and full of redundancies. Backup generators hum beneath them. Communication antennas rise above them. These buildings often include independent emergency power, weather instruments, communication, radios, rooftop vantage points, laboratories with specialized equipment. They represent not physical survival, but informational survival. Information is the most undervalued resource in any crisis simulation. Knowing the weather, the movement of crowds, road closures, this is the difference between safety and disaster. In industrial districts lie workshops dense with tools, metals, coils, compressors, everything needed to repair or reconstruct vital systems. These shops offer mechanical repair, fabrication, welding, electrical troubleshooting, access to specialized materials. They are the backbone of urban technical infrastructure, quietly hidden in plain sight. To most people they look dull, dirty, inaccessible, which is exactly why they remain untouched when crowds panic. These rooms are engineered to withstand fire, flood, collapse, and time itself. Reinforced concrete envelopes them. Steel vault doors seal them. They contain temperature control, fire suppression, isolation from vibrations, low electromagnetic noise designed to protect documents. They inadvertently protect people. A few people even know where these rooms are. Fewer still consider entering them. Their greatest strength is silence. Each safe zone is strong alone, but unstoppable when linked. Together they form a silent network, a web of movement and resilience across the city. Grain from breweries supports the storage towers. Tools from repair shops maintain electrical systems. University buildings coordinate information flow. Vault rooms provide deep refuge. The network provides redundant routes, silent travel corridors, and fallback positions. No single point of failure. No fixed location to target. The vacuum protocol is not about confrontation, not about overpowering chaos, but about flowing around it like water finding the empty spaces. No plan guarantees survival in any collapse simulation, not even this one. The world is unpredictable. Luck always plays a role. But the greatest uncertainty is always other people. Trust, fear, cooperation, conflict. Every safe zone is strong, but none can function without human judgment. The vacuum protocol is a philosophy, not invincibility. Not a promise, a way to think differently in a moment where thinking itself becomes rare. If you want an advantage in any crisis simulation, start now. Look at your city, find the strategic voids around you, understand them, memorize them. When the world panics toward the obvious, your safety may lie in the places no one else can see.